Hello, 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 and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Jessica Lozano, and I am a femme priestess and a women's empowerment coach, helping women reclaim the truth of who they really are and call in that divine partner. So be the one or the one that got away is what I help women do. In a sense, you feel like that. You feel like you're the one, and either you're the one that got away from a man that didn't know how to honor you, and then you found the one because you finally saw yourself as the one. And I love the work that I do. And I'm really excited to share these transmissions, this little series that I have going on. So today is number 3. Also, hello YouTube, because I will be uploading this onto YouTube. When you pop in, say hello after the transmission. Let me know what you feel, what your breakthroughs were, what your aha moments at the end in the comments. I would love to read them. So today I don't have any notes. Today I felt very much, it's a little nerve-wracking, but I just really felt like I really needed to come on here and talk like from my heart when it comes to this specific subject. Because this specific subject in sovereignty really is what I believe helped me to kind of open up that gateway to being a sovereign woman. And in the relationship that I was in, not letting him push my buttons like how he used to. Right? Because when someone pushes your buttons, it's really fucking easy to blame them. And be like, yeah, they just push my buttons. They know how to push my buttons. And just projecting all your shit onto them and how it's their fault, right? They are the ones making me feel like this. They. If he would just stop doing that, I wouldn't be triggered and I would be fine. How can I fix him so that he can stop doing this shit? It's driving me bananas. I don't like it. I don't like being mad. I hate it when I'm triggered because then I blow off on him or I start to cry because I'm so frustrated. And then I just continue to be in this unfulfilling relationship. Right? That was like pretty much the cycle that I was in. It was his fault. It was his fault. It was his fault. Why is he such an asshole? Why is he pushing my buttons all the time? That was my reality for a really long time. And he played into that. You know, he felt that he had the power because I gave him the power. And he used that to his advantage. He knew how to play me like a little fiddle. But at the end of the day, I was the one that allowed that. When I'm talking about taking radical responsibility, I'm not just it's really about taking radical responsibility about your life, like full responsibility of who you are and where you are right now in this moment. Because if you're in a relationship, if you're watching this, holding sovereignty in relationships, you want to be sovereign woman, you want to hold sovereignty, you want to have your personal power, because that's what sovereignty is, your personal power, being able, free from external control. And external control can be anything. It could be a person, it could be food, it can be a thoughts that you have, right? It's just full, complete, complete freedom of external control is what sovereignty is. So it's absolute personal power. If you're watching this, you want this. You want personal power. This is what I desperately wanted when I hired my coach to help me find myself and eventually give me the personal power, give me the strength to lead the relationship in the way that I wanted, and eventually realizing that this relationship wasn't for me. Leaving with no problem. And then 3 months later, since I had done so much work already in this relationship, I've cleaned so much, like a quantum leap. Boom, the one came in 3 months. From my own personal power, from taking radical responsibility of my life and taking radical responsibility of all the shit I did in the past that didn't feel really good to look at. All the parts that I've wronged people, that radical responsibility. It is the ultimate, for me, power play of bringing your power back to you is radical responsibility. Because without this, it's like you have like your aura is around you and there's holes in your aura where people can actually like touch you, let's say energetically touch you and be like, and flick you is what happens. Is how I see it when somebody pushes your buttons is you have these holes in your aura. They're like, ooh, let me just flick your nose. And obviously that's annoying. So you're going to get triggered, right? That's what happens when you don't have full ownership of your life, when you don't have radical responsibility. You don't take full accountability for the actions that you've made. And guess what? You're going to attract a partner just like that, because that is what I did. I attracted a partner who could not take accountability for his actions. If you watch the transmission, A Living Masterpiece, you know that one of the things that I was holding on to a lot of shame about was the fact that I had an abortion. He lacked so much personal responsibility that he could not even acknowledge that he played a part in that decision making for me. He caused me so much pain and caused me to fear my life that I was like, I cannot have this man in my life forever, because that's what would happen if I have this child. Very hard decision. It was so hard. And he took not 1 ounce of responsibility. Instead, guess what he did? He blamed me and my family and my friends and pinned me against them. But because I didn't have that ability to just own my decision, I felt so much shame from it. And obviously he didn't help either. That was one of the darkest moments of my life. I swear, I shit you not. It really was. But it definitely called for my greatest awakening. I wasn't able to really own my decision because of my own personal power. Without him in the picture, I could own it. But once he came into the picture, I couldn't own it anymore. Because I had circumstantial power, which basically, as long as everyone around me agrees, I have this power. But as soon as somebody else comes in and doesn't agree with me, oh my God, I crumble to the ground. And that's what happened. That's what happened. I didn't have any radical responsibility. I couldn't take accountability of my actions. I felt so ashamed about everything that I did, all the decisions that I've made, where I was, let's say, either with my financial situation, with my body, with the man that I was with the relationships in my life, like family and friends, the ways that I've done people wrong, my attitude. I had so much anger. I couldn't even take responsibility over that. Like, I had to own all of it. All of it, no matter how hard and how painful that was. But, fuck, do you feel so solid within yourself? It's like an unshakable feeling. Like on your core, you're unshakable. Yeah, life may rattle you a little bit, and people may try to push your buttons a little bit again. But when you take that radical responsibility of your life and all the decisions that you have made, whether they were a place from personal power that you made these decisions, or they were from a place of like, damn, I feel weak, so I'm going to make this decision, doesn't matter. Owning those decisions is radical responsibility. It's taking full accountability of your actions and the consequences that came after that. Fuck. Do you understand the power that you have when you own all of that and own the consequences that have happened because of that? And you can hold that. Do you think that anyone can push your buttons? No, they can't. You've already owned the darkest parts of you, that anybody who tries to come and push your buttons, that tries to knock you over, they can't. They can't do that. And when you take this energy and you enter in a relationship with this energy, or you enter this in a relationship with this energy, Do you know the confidence that you hold and the magnetism that you radiate when you own your darkest parts of you and all the decisions that you made from it and the ripple effect that had caused in other people? Do you understand the energetic match that you're going to call in? You're going to call in a man who can take accountability of his life and his decisions and never blame it on you. When I met Ron, I think I'm going to cry. I really think I'm going to cry. When I met Ron, he never, so the first year we got together, the first year I moved up here was a very tough year, the first 2 years. I decided to just start going back to be an online coach, and I had no experience in online coaching. It was a very tough year, first very tough 2 years. And he was like, I'll support you, basically. He's like, I'll pay for all the bills. You know, you just pretty much take care of your own bills, which is like my car, my cell phone, and things like that. And for so long, I felt guilty about that. I felt guilty about receiving that. And he would tell me, he's like, I'm doing this because I want to. And he got to a point where things were a little tight for him too. So there really wasn't a lot of freedom in our spending budget. And it got tight. But you know, he never once ever pointed to me and said, it's your fault. But anyway, at any shape or form. Because there's different levels that someone can do that. There's different levels, because let me tell you, I was with a master manipulator. Let me tell you, he was very good at making you feel like shit, but not exactly saying it. It's like this whole insinuation thing that he would do. He was a genius with his words. I give him that. And he used it for great, as I've mentioned before. There's a lot of great qualities that he has about him, but he did not have his shadow under control when it came to relationships. And it also reflected in his business with the relationships that he would attract in his business. Oh my God. I can't believe I was like, oh, that came through live. Oh my God. Okay. I'm I could totally edit that out, but I'm not going to, because this is what it feels like. You're crying in front of people and you're freaking vulnerable, shit comes out of your body. Because he could have, but he took full responsibility of saying, I'm the man, I love you, I support your dreams, I got you. I got you, babe. Do you know how fucking good that feels? We had some arguments about money, some decisions that I've made that I had to take full responsibility about. But never in these arguments did anybody point the other finger at somebody else and said, yeah, because of you. Because both of us are sovereign individuals and take full responsibility for our actions. Fuck, let me tell you, we've overcome that. In life, like, when you overcome something like, so those kind of hurdles with your partner, like, it just makes you stronger as a couple, without a doubt. But that's what's available for you when you embody this. So my ex was able to put his finger through the aura, flick me, push me, punch, not literally, okay, I'm just saying figuratively, with his words, with his things, when I didn't have responsibility over my actions. But you made me do it. No. I decided, the ultimate, what shifted really was, one of the major things that shifted for me was when I said, I have allowed him to do this to me. I am allowing it. Full responsibility. You're no longer playing the victim. You're saying, I decided, yes, that doesn't take away the things that they did, doesn't take away the manipulation, doesn't take away the control, doesn't take away the way that they've made you feel. It also doesn't take away the good things of them. What you're doing is just taking everything that you have pushed off onto them. It's almost like outsourcing, like when I talked about in the very first transmission, outsourcing versus self-sourcing. It's almost like you're outsourcing your wrongs in a sense, like projecting it onto people, but really that's just going to bounce back in your face 20 times harder. So this is what doing this radical responsibility is. You're bringing those parts of you back to you. The parts of you that another reason why it's so hard to actually see these parts of you and claim them as yours is because it's hard to say that. Like, ugh, I did that. Fuck, I did that. I hurt that person. Oh my God, I hurt that person. Oh my God, I hurt myself. Oh my God, look what I did. Like, it hurts. It's uncomfortable. That's okay. You can hold yourself through that. Something more powerful than a woman who can hold herself through all the wrong things that she's done in her life. And I say it like that, it's because we've made decisions in our lives, but ultimately they've led us where you are now. And if it wasn't for those decisions, you wouldn't have overcome them and be who you are right now. So it's no longer projecting onto people. Because to me, like, projecting is just like putting something out there to people and then like it ricocheting back to you 20 times harder. Because you're just completely like avoiding. Push. It's everybody else. Fuck, there's no sovereignty in that. And the whole time you're just pretending to be something that you're not, in a sense. You're avoiding what's there. It's like having shit in your house and being like, oh, it doesn't smell like shit. But there's shit everywhere. No, that's just decor. Right. That's what it's like. That's what it feels like. That's what your soul is like. Hello, can we take care of this problem here? Can we clean this up? Can we clean this shit up? You know, you're going to have to face it. You don't have to put your face in it, but you do have to clean it up. And you do have to own the fact that there's shit in your house. Stop spraying perfume. Because it smells even worse. You know what I'm saying? Radical responsibility. Full ownership of your life. This is who I am, and I own all of it. I own all the wrongs that I've done. I've owned the pain that I've caused people. I've owned the pain that I've caused myself. And I forgive myself. I forgive myself and I have compassion. Because you know what? When I really look at her and I own all of that, that girl was in so much pain. When I own the decisions that I've made that put me in situations that hurt me, she was only in pain. She was just seeking for love. And she thought that this is the way that she would get love. She thought this is the way that she would get validation. But I can see it's only made me feel worse about myself. It's only made me tear down friendships and relationships that, because of me projecting all this anger onto them as well. It's made me have fights with my partner. Yeah, he's an asshole, but you know what? If I own all of my shit, there's nothing he can push. Me and my ex stopped fighting. Like really fighting, like where it would go into these extremes, highs and lows, is when I was able to take ownership of myself. I could catch my triggers right away when he would try to push it, because I was like, ooh, pause, I'm triggered, boom, right, and not respond. Take full responsibility, own the decision part, own the parts that I played in that, apologize about it, because I owned up to it. Radical responsibility. It diffuses everything. It diffuses it all. And when we broke up, let me tell you, he tried so hard to push my buttons. Nope, wasn't gonna work. Because I knew who I was. Because I owned every single part of me. The shitty side and the fucking awesome side. That's radical responsibility. Owning all of who you are. The parts of you that was looking for love and made really bad decisions. And the parts of you that, wow, like I fucking did that. Go me. And own that part of you and own that celebration. Because that's the other side of this too. The flip side of radical responsibility is saying like, I called in this man. Oh my God. I did this for him and look how happy he was. Look how happy look at the smile that I bring onto my partner's face because of that. Look at the transformation I made in this client's life and really own that part too. Because that's the other side, owning all the great that you've done and not let anybody take that away from you. So it's not just this dark, deep thing that you have to do. It's also owning like the badass bitch that you are. You know? I got myself out of that relationship. I did that. And when you walk in a new relationship, you're so squeaky clean. It's like they like to say it, like your energy is so clean that fuck, you're gonna attract men. You're not gonna attract little boys anymore. Because that's what it was. It was two little kids in a relationship that didn't have, like, it's adults, but they're little kids coming out all the time. It's a little girl and a little boy. You're attracting little boys. You want to be a woman? No, she has a little inner child. But, you know, she has her in check. You know, she's holding her hand and saying, you're not running the show anymore. I'm driving the car. And him too. Power. Disempowered relationship. Empowered relationship. Disempowered relationship. Divine, sovereign, sacred partnership. Toxic, trauma bonding relationship. Unhealthy relationship. Which do you choose? I know what I choose. And I know what I chose. And I own that shit. So, I want you to look at where you need to own up in your life. In all areas. Because it's not just like the radical, the dark side, but also the awesome side too. Like, where can you own more of all of who you are? Where in your relationship where you're fighting with your partner can you be like, you know what? I need to own up that I was a bitch here. That wasn't my feminine testing coming out. That was a trauma projection, and I need to own up to that because that's really did not do any good in my relationship. I need to own up to the fact that I'm mothering my partner. And that's what's creating this parent-child dynamic. That's what I had to do. I had to own up that I was bringing into just it's so subtle with me and Ron, like the things that we've had to work on, but they made really strong impacts. I had to own up that I was mothering him in a sense, in specific areas. So then we created this parent-child dynamic, right? Where I was the parent and he was like the child, which is not fucking sexy. Doesn't make your man feel like a man, makes him feel like a little boy, and then you feel like a mother and you're wondering why the sexual tension and why the sexual polarity isn't there and why he isn't doing the things that he used to do before. Well, clearly I was mothering. I was putting in more masculine energy, so he went back into more of his feminine energy. That's just the way that energetics work. I had to own up to that. I was like, fuck. Damn it, I'm the one. Part of the issue here is I'm killing the sexual polarity because I'm treating him like a child. No, own your shit. You will shift your relationship so fast when you do that. And you're not blaming anybody. Blaming doesn't do anything. Blaming gets you the blame game. Two little kids like, no, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Like, you're not going to get anywhere like that. It's like two little kids fighting, and you don't want that in your partnership, right? You want two adults that can own their parts and be like, okay, I fucked up here, you fucked up here. What can we do? Let's work as a team. How can we resolve this? What can we do? And it might be a conversation that you have, a few conversations. It doesn't have to get resolved overnight. But at least you both owned where the problem is and take full responsibility. Instead of playing the blame game and then projecting your shit onto your partner, it's like literally like throwing poop on him and wondering why he stinks. And then him throwing poop back at you. So you don't want that. That's not how you call in a sovereign partner, or have a sovereign relationship. And that's not how you call in your divine partner, by playing the blame game. You're going to fuck up. Just own up to it. Whatever you fucked up in the past, all areas, every single little thing that you can think about, own up to all of it. Within yourself. You don't have to, you don't have to go calling people and telling them, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do that. But you do need to own it up to yourself and forgive yourself. And that's how you're going to have like in your aura, like this, like there's no more holes in there where other people can poke at you because there's nothing for them to do. Like you're solid, like you're, they can't touch you. They can't touch you. They can say all the things and you will say, yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I fucked up there. Instead of like crying and being like, no, and like, and defending yourself and just crying and like, no, but can you see my side, and just trying to justify your side of it. Can you see how that's not going to get you anywhere in your relationships? And if you do that, then your partner's probably also the parent. So then you have the other dynamic where you're the child and your parent and your partner's the parent, and then you have that dynamic going on, because it can be either way. You don't want that. So I think that's all I'm going to say for now. I actually kind of liked not having something to like, having like a list thing. I feel like I was just able to like channel and speak through what came to me, and like I feel like a lot more powerful. I was a little shaky. I'm not sure if you heard it in my voice earlier. I was like like, when you're nervous and your voice like shakes a little bit. I felt that when I said hello, but I feel like that was so much better. So I think I'm going to be doing that, unless there's something really powerful that I need to like, no, I need to write this out or else I'm not going to be able to finish my story. But I felt really called to speak from my heart today, from my truth, versus having a script. Not a script, but like bullet points and a way to follow. So the next transmission. Oh, I do remember what I was going to say. So the reason why transmission 3 came after transmission 2, the power of choice, right? With sovereignty, holding sovereignty in your relationship is because actually when you make the power of choice, you also have to take full responsibility for any consequences, good or bad, that happen after that. So you can start saying like, yeah, power of choice. Like I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna make my decisions. I'm a powerful woman. I have a choice and I'm gonna choose this. And then things happen after that. You have to be able to take full responsibility over it. A lot of different things can happen. Once you start owning up and you start claiming your power of choice, people might fight you back a little bit, in the sense of like, let's say your partner, let's say you start saying like, no, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm choosing this now. I'm choosing to stand. This is what I really desire. What you want me to do, I don't want to do that anymore. I never really wanted to do that. I really want to do this. If they have weak boundaries, they can try to overstep it. So that's where you really have to stay in here and take full responsibility of your action. Like, not that it was your fault that he reacted that way. That's fully on him. But really just taking ownership of where you are. Like, okay, I know that me making this decision created this because he has this issue, this boundary issue. So taking full accountability for your decision and whatever happens, and like how you respond after that really is what I'm trying to say. But also, like, if you do make a decision that was wrong, right? You activated your power of choice, you took self-leadership, and you actually realize that the decision was wrong, like, you have to take full responsibility on that and be like, yes, I fucked up on that. I'm sorry. I thought it was the right choice. That happened to me with Ron. I ended up paying for a coach on a credit card that we didn't have. And I didn't tell him. I mean, on a credit card with money we did not have. On a credit card, put us in debt. And then I had to tell Ron, and I had to own up at the fact that hurt him because I didn't tell him. It put us into debt, and yeah, I had to take responsibility on that. Like, that was my fault. Maybe I should have talked to him first about that, and that, because I had made that decision again later on with him. And I had to put it on a credit card, but he supported me, so it was a different energy that actually came out of the whole program from that. So it's really important for you to really own your shit. Own your shit, own your light, own your choices. Self-source yourself. Don't outsource your energy, and don't project onto people, because you're really, the only thing you're going to get, partners are a mirror of you. If you're projecting and you're throwing shit on people, guess what? It's reflecting in that mirror. Shit on you. You don't want that. Nobody wants that in a partner. That doesn't make for really good lovemaking. And it only gives you a relationship that's filled with trauma and pain and suffering, versus two individuals that are wanting to evolve and expand and grow their relationship and grow in life and really enjoy life and evolve as a couple and feel like so happy and like almost like, I cannot believe this is the partner that I have. That's what we want. We want a partner that we can grow with, we can evolve with, that he gives you unapologetic permission to be you, even though you don't need it, but you feel it from him, and same for you to him. That is a solid relationship. That is a happy relationship. Okay, so that's it for today. Tomorrow, but the next transmission, number 4, I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about radical authenticity and, radical authenticity. So that's it for today. Also, I have my one-on-one coaching is open right now. There's 3 different ways that you can work with me. So if you're loving everything that I'm saying here, and you really want to work on these things, and you really want to call in that partner where you just feel like they get you and they're on your team, and you can just grow and evolve together and create the dream life that you desire, whatever that is. If you can close your eyes and imagine that right now, like your man is with you and you guys are building this beautiful life, the children, or maybe not children, the dogs, or maybe not the dogs, maybe it's the cat, maybe it's the horses, the traveling the world, or just growing your legacy with you and your partner in your own neighborhood, whatever that dream is, that is possible for you. In a relationship that feels almost effortless, that feels abundant with love, that feels safe and secure, that feels like he wants you to be in your feminine and unleash her and be all of who she is and have the best sex ever. And grow and be vulnerable with. Just imagine that. That's possible for you. So if that's what you want, and you're looking for a coach that can calibrate you up to that, guide you into that woman that you see, to that woman that is raising her standards and is no longer available for little boys. She knows she's the one and she's calling in that one. I'm your girl. So reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. It's an 18-week container. And I have 3 payment options available for that to make it very, very, very no-brainer for you. Also, you get access to all my programs that I'm running live during that time with you, with us together in that container. Can you imagine? We're going to be going into the new year. Can you imagine working together and then going into the new year, just setting you off in that right space, like for the new year? that's fucking awesome. And I also have the other way to work with me is one-on-one intensives. This is really for the woman who feels like almost like at a crossroads, or she's struggling with a specific area, and she just wants like an activation, that someone that can see it and like take her in that right direction when it comes to being a sovereign woman, or whatever struggles she's having in her relationship, or the things that she noticed that she's calling in, or even if you're over a breakup and you're like, okay, I'm getting through this, but there's still this area that I'm struggling with. Like the last woman that I had, she was struggling with whether she should go back or not. It was kind of like that. So we had to activate her, put her mind right where she needed to be, where she didn't feel wobbly. So that's a 2-hour call, and then we have a follow-up 20 to 30 minute call 2 to 4 weeks after that, whatever you want, in order to see if everything landed, or just to kind of close it off. Which also you can upgrade that into the one-on-one coaching container, which is pretty awesome. And the last way is the Liberated Woman. This is a self-study program. It was the round 1 of the Liberated Woman, 6-day somatic journey to awakening your divine feminine. 3 somatic practices that, oh my God, you will be using this all the time to work through areas that you feel pain, that you're trying to move through your body. That's areas where you want to reclaim your sexuality, and feel the juicy and yumminess within you, and the celebration of you. Those are the 3 practices. It's really fucking good. I love those practices. $111. If you want to awaken to your divine feminine, do that, and you will get $111 credit into any one of my offerings that I have. So you can take that and put it towards the one-on-one intensive, or put it towards one-on-one coaching, or for the round 2 of the Liberated Woman, which is going to be a lot more modules, a lot more in depth. And I'm specifically going to work with your divine feminine energy in partnership and divine partnership. So that is it. If you're interested in any of these, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and see which one is perfect for you. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.